We respectfully acknowledge that the Windsor Regional Hospital occupies the traditional, ancestral, and contemporary lands of the Niswi, Iskwandonwa, Anishinaabe, the Three Fires Confederacy, Ojibwe, Odawa, Potawatomi. We acknowledge the land and the surrounding waters for sustaining us, and we are committed to protecting and restoring these lands and waters from environmental degradation. Good evening, all, and welcome to the Board of Directors meeting on Thursday, June the 4th, 2026. I will now call the meeting to order. Are there any declarations of conflict of interest from any of the board members? Seeing none, if any arise during the meeting, please declare it at that time. I may have a motion to approve the previous minutes of May 7th, 2026. Linda, seconded by Genevieve. Any comments or questions on the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. First item on the business on the item of the agenda is the President and CEO and CNE's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I am going to pass over to Nicole and Christy for today's presentation.
Thank you, Matt. And thank you, Mr. Chair and Kristen. We'll be presenting the CEO and CNE report. You can change to the next slide. Our first topic today is the transperineal prostate biopsy program, which aligns with our strategic direction number 1 to strengthen the processes that drive a proactive and inclusive culture of patient safety. So in this past month, Windsor Regional Hospital has introduced the transperineal prostate biopsy as a new clinical option for patients requiring prostate cancer assessment. This method carries a much lower infection risk than the current transrectal biopsy procedures. Following 6 months of planning and preparation and implementation, we procured equipment, did staff education and workflow development. The first transperitoneal procedures were successfully completed at the beginning of May by Dr. Tom Deklosh. 6 cases were performed during the first week of launch, with additional patients already scheduled. In addition to maintaining comparable cancer detection accuracy, the TP approach offers improved access to the anterior prostate sampling while substantially reducing the risk of sepsis, infection, and bleeding complications. The introduction of this service enhances access to advanced, safer care close to home, reducing the need for patients to travel outside the Windsor-Essex region for treatment, and this initiative further reflects Windsor Regional Hospital's commitment to quality, patient safety, innovation, and evidence-informed clinical practice. Next slide, please. For strategic direction number 4, enhancing an equitable workplace culture, we would like to introduce the Backstage Pass program. This launched in August 2025, and it directly supports strategic direction number 4. We strengthen our community workforce pathways and have expanded access to healthcare career option exploration for students and people in the community. This program provides a structured single-day observational experience that enables individuals from diverse backgrounds to gain meaningful exposure to healthcare careers in a safe and inclusive environment. So far, we've had 170 plus participants engaged, with 112 post-secondary learners, 37 high school students, 27 adult learners, and participation from across 30 clinical and non-clinical departments. Through transparent access to a wide range of disciplines, this program improves understanding of career pathways, reduces barriers to entry, and encourages broad participation in the healthcare workforce. This initiative, we are very proud of this initiative, and it reinforces our leadership in community engagement, workforce development, and long-term talent cultivation, while supporting a more diverse and informed future-ready healthcare workforce. Next slide, please. I would also like to highlight the high school student volunteer program. where high school students can gain meaningful career exposure and complete required community service hours through our volunteer service department. Windsor Regional currently supports 400 active volunteers, including approximately 40 students aged 16 to 18. While most summer placements have already been filled, we're expanding opportunities for high school volunteers in the upcoming fall term. The minimum age to volunteer at Windsor Regional is 16. Student volunteers support a variety of departments, including pediatrics, Ronald McDonald House, day surgery, emergency department, through evening and weekend shifts that fit with their school schedules. In each of these areas, volunteers are paired with a partner and supervised by department staff to ensure a safe and supportive experience. Youth volunteers also play an important role during the Windsor Regional Hospital Foundation fundraising events, where staff and current volunteers help recruit students to assist with event operations. We have our website on here, and applications are accepted year-round on an individual basis. And this program is very close to my heart because I was formerly a student volunteer throughout my high school years. And that was before the required volunteer experience came into effect, but it really emboldened my love for hospital and healthcare, and it spurred on my passion to become a nurse. So really great program that we would love to highlight tonight. Next slide, please. So one other one I'm going to be highlighting is the renal program, completing its second chronic kidney point of care screening event on May 26th. This was with the Aluna Puiwi and Lakuwit in collaboration with the SOHAC and Windsor Regional Hospital Lab and the Community Health Center. There were a total of 10 community members that were screened during this event, bringing the total of 18 members being screened this year. During the most recent event, all participants screened as low risk and based on the point of care results. We continue to collaborate with London Health Science and the Bikuakinong to bring the point of care testing to the community. The Indigenous leads from both renal programs presented to the council and received approval to move forward. We're hopeful to hold the first screening clinic in partnership with LHSC in the fall. Next slide. This one I'm going to hand over to Christy.
Thanks, Nicole. And for strategic direction number 5, enhance collaboration and strengthen partnerships to build a better healthcare network. The recognition is for Dr. Survey for dedication of and treating our sickle cell disease. So our sincere congratulations goes out to Dr. Survey, who has been selected as a recipient of the Medical Award of Excellence by the Sickle Cell Awareness Group of Ontario. This recognition is a tremendous honor and a reflection of Dr. Survey's outstanding commitment to supporting individuals and families impacted by sickle cell disease. We are very proud to see this important work acknowledged. Sickle cell disease is a rare inherited blood disorder in which red blood cells may become sickle-shaped and harden, causing serious and potential fatal complications. People with sickle cell disease are born with this condition. It can cause chronic, severe, and unpredictable pain. There is no universal cure. Dr. Survey obtained her MSc in biomedical and molecular science at Queen's University, followed by her MD at the University of Ottawa in internal medicine and hematology training at McMaster. Dr. Survey has mixed malignant and non-malignant hematology practice based entirely at the Windsor Regional Cancer Program. She will be recognized and presented with her award at a gala scheduled for Saturday, June 13th in Mississauga. Congratulations, Dr. Survey. And moving on. For strategic direction number 4, enhance an equitable workplace culture that establishes Windsor Regional as an employer of choice. We would like to celebrate our May 2026 Emergency Preparedness Week. The Emergency Department and Trauma Program, in collaboration with Occupational Health and Safety, Infection Prevention and Control, and Diagnostic Imaging, hosted our second annual Emergency Preparedness Fair from May 3rd to May 7th. The EP Week is a national-wide initiative with the opportunity to educate our staff and community members on emergency planning and knowing our risks. This year's theme was Be Prepared. The event featured multiple initiatives, including Stop the Bleed, hospital-wide code response such as Code Orange, Code Silver, and Safety in the Workplace, Rave Sign-Up, and Emergency Management Ontario Community Education. This fair continues to engage staff and community members doubling our meaningful engagements from the year prior. So great turnout for the team this year, and continuing the great work going on for our following year for Emergency Preparedness Week. And that concludes our presentation.
Thank you very much, Nicole and Christy. Are there any questions or comments? And Kristen, did you have anything to add?
Nothing else to add, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much for your presentations. Next item on the agenda is the Schulich report with Dr. Jacobs. I do not see Dr. Jacobs on the call this evening. So the file, if anything that's in the package is there for your information. Chris, you are next up on the financial presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Matt, if you can pull up the financial presentation for us. Okay, so this is the financial results for the 12 months ending March 31, 2026. So year to date, March 26 results, there's a net deficit after building amortization of 18,322,000, which is 8.3 million better than budget. The hospital margin is negative 9.73 million, which is 8.1 million better than the plan. We can go on to the next slide. We can look at some of the significant variances within that. So base funding, the cancer QBP rate increase results in 1.7 million in additional funding, 2.9 million offset medical fees, additional volume funding for cancer and renal programs there. One-time funding, 3.2 million in volume-based revenue settlements less than accrued. Additional one-time funding amounts are announced over the fiscal year as well, make up some of that there. For patient services, diagnostic revenues offset by medical fees there. Other recoveries include surpluses in retail pharmacies, Mohawk MedBuy rebates and investment revenue, nurse police teams recoveries, additional billings for stem cell patient transfers. Transplant patients, sorry. Wages and salaries are now unfavorable, 3.6 million. Those include the year-end accruals, as well as surge volumes requiring additional funding. Benefits, the deficit there is 2.2 million. It's related to that wage deficit as well. $765,000 adjustment in future benefits based on actuarial reviews. So again, an accrual at the end. Medical staff fees, $3.8 million deficit, 3.691 in offsetting funding, emergency and NICU alternative funding, and patient services revenue for diagnostic services. Medical surgical supplies, we had a deficit of 69,000 there. A surplus in perioperative program is offset by a deficit in interventional radiology. Drugs, $426,000 deficit. We had a surplus in retail pharmacies more than offset that deficit. Other supplies, again, that $3.5 million deficit, unfortunately, no offsetting revenue here. Pressure points continue to be contrast media, physician recruitment costs, building and equipment maintenance, patient transportation, legal and consulting as well. So we can go to the next slide. We've been tracking as we have the sick and overtime hours as a percentage of total hours worked. For the month of March, for the unionized staff, sick percentage at both campuses above the target of 4.8, with MET at 6.3 and OLED at 6.8%. That overtime percentage at MET campus is also above the target of 4%, with MET at 4.6 and OLED at 7.1. Slide 5 will show us the overtime benchmarks of the non-union staff. A sick percentage is 1% below the target of 2.2, and the overtime percentage is exactly on target at 0. And finally, the medical surgical patient days, you can see the surge volumes are still high in March. An average of 56 additional beds were open daily, with an average of 30 unfunded beds open per day this fiscal year. So if that is the results financially for the year. So, Mr. Chair, if I can move that report and the other information within the package there as well from the meetings we had.
Yeah, can I have a seconder for Chris's movement? Cynthia, any questions or comments for Chris? Anna?
Sorry, I'm a little slow tonight. Just something that stuck out to me that when I was just reviewing the package again today. MRI hours of operation. It's under the patient volume measures. I don't expect you, Chris, to have the answer, but somebody might. The total, it's about 2,000 hours under budget. Like, so, and most of those are at OLET. I believe the bulk of that is at OLET. Just wondering, is that because we don't have the staff to run the machines, or does
Would you
anyone?
like me to
Oh.
answer, Kristen?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so we get funded hours for MRI and CT, and we actually go like above our hours for CT. So sometimes, yes,
On that,
there
yep.
is a staffing portion of it, but then also sometimes we use the hours to balance out because we do more CT hours than what we're funded for. But also, we did have a MRI replacement, so sometimes it can be downtime or things like that. So before we had the both MRIs at OLET working at 100% capacity. We had some downtime due to the replacement of the unit in the last fiscal year.
Okay, thank you, Nicole.
Any other questions? All in favor of Chris's motion? Seeing all unanimous, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is correspondence and printed material. There's an entire media report for your information. Does the board have any questions or comments or notices of motion at this time? Seeing none, the date of the next meeting is Thursday, September the 3rd, 2026. So everyone have a great summer, and we will see you then. I will look for a motion to adjourn. Anna, seconded by Chris. All in favor? Motion carries. I will see you